sure you guys have some questions, and we have some answers. We've put together some FAQs. The team has done a great job this entire weekend preparing some FAQs. So we're going to be posting those and a couple other links. So please pay attention to the chat room, and we'll be getting started here very, very shortly. Thanks so much. Just make a quick announcement. Jolene has put out some information here. I want you guys to take a look at both of those links. The first one is a support is in the support portal. We've written an article regarding the BSC ecosystem expansion, where we're going to be adding on the Binance Smart Chain to our ecosystem. And so there's a lot of good information in there. I would suggest that everybody, before asking questions on this chat, read that, because it covers 98%, 99% of your questions. So let's make sure that we're not asking those questions in here, just to be respectful of everybody's time and to make sure that we're getting answers to questions that are not in there, because it's definitely possible that we don't have all the answers in there. And what we'll do is anything that's not in there that we answer, we'll add it there so that we have a much more comprehensive post on that information as well. In addition, we've got a form that we've created for interested volunteers. We're looking for moderators. We're looking for people with graphic design skills. So really across the board, if you guys feel like you can help out, I know a lot of people have been hitting me up, and I'm really sorry I can't get to every single person that hits me up. But if you want to fill out that form, our team will set up a time to talk with you and bring you in where you feel like you can help best. So please make sure that you're looking at both of those links in there, and we'll get started again here very shortly. All right, guys.
Hey, John, I don't know if you're talking or whatnot, but no, we can't hear anything.
Is that better? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Joey?
yeah, you went silent
Awesome.
for at least a minute.
All right.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I'll start over again. So welcome everybody. Thank you so much. Another edition of our Bank Social AMA, daily AMAs, where we give you guys a hint of what's coming out, and we let you guys ask us whatever you want. So we're one of the only tokens who does this. It's really for the community. Make sure you guys, are really in tune with what's going on and what our goals are, what our community focus is going to be for the day and for the week. So a few announcements before we get started. Jolene has put in the main chat a couple of links. The first link is a link to the Bank Social BSC information that describes how we're expanding the ecosystem to include Binance Smart Chain alongside of ERC and alongside of all the centralized exchanges that we've launched on, and the benefits of doing so. It also talks about the airdrop that's going to be coming to all ERC token holders and why you should hold on or increase the size of your holdings on ERC for that airdrop. So if you have any questions that are not in that document, please bring them up here. Otherwise, please read that document, because I think it will answer 98% of your questions. Okay. In addition, we're looking for volunteers. We're growing like crazy. And so we need more volunteers. We have put up an application to help make the process a little bit more funneled and make sure that you guys are I know a lot of people have hit me up asking to help, and it's not that we don't want you to help. It's just that I have thousands of things going on, and I try to send a link here or send a link there and try to get people into a room, and it doesn't work, and I've got other things. So to make this better for everybody, we've put together the application. Right now, it's mainly moderators that we're looking for. But again, if you have a skill set that you feel like would be beneficial to us, don't hesitate to reach out through that form as well. So those are some announcements that I just wanted to make before getting started here. And without further ado, I'll go ahead and get into it. So you guys heard about us calling for volunteers. We're essentially going through a slight restructure of our core groups. I know that about 2 weeks ago, you guys heard that we were making a deal with a couple of advisors. That deal, as of yesterday, has been fully finalized, and I'm happy to say that one of the advisors that we announced about a week and a half ago, Travis, who's been helping us in the background, is finally in a position to take a full stage front-facing role. We're very, very excited about that. And so Travis Lubinsky, he'll be coming on with us, as well as you guys already know Joey. We announced Joey a couple weeks back as well. They're both on full time with us, full board. So we're doing a little bit of restructuring alongside of that to really focus on strategy, communication, and marketing. We feel like the development side and things on that side are moving very, very, very fast, as well as the partnership side. But we wanted to really focus and provide a solid structure going forward for the communication, strategy, and marketing side. And so we're very happy and excited to announce this finally being a full-fledged agreement that we've reached with Travis. So Travis I don't believe he's on this call, but he will be starting very quickly with being a part of these calls and part of our daily operations. So again, very excited for that, and really excited about our restructure that we're going to be going through in the next few days. We've got several marketing meetings planned, really starting to get the organization into a position to where it's run like a traditional type of business. So we're very excited about that. Quickly, I know there's been a lot of questions on the DigiFinex exchange. I was on a chat with them for just about 15-20 minutes last night, the CEO and his listing manager, and they were both apologizing profusely. They had told us last week on Wednesday that they were pushing very hard to launch by Friday, but most likely it was going to be Monday. And quite frankly, the listing manager just was very apologetic and forgot that they had a holiday today. So happy Dragon Boat Festival to everybody who's out there, who's with us, who celebrates that. But that was something that I wasn't expecting, and I think they just forgot about, unfortunately. But I can assure you that they are diligently working. And as far as I'm understanding from my conversation with them last night, the integration is done and they're just in testing. So I expect an announcement from their side very shortly. I won't put any timelines on that announcement, but we'll let DigiFinex take the very quick steps on their side to get that information out to us whenever they can. So that's an update there. We also have the fiat transfer to token that we're working on. The application and the agreement was finalized late last week. That takes a couple weeks to happen. I don't like putting timelines on it, but I also don't like giving you guys just an unknown window of time. But I will say it's not a days thing, it's a weeks thing. Okay, there's a lot that goes into that, but that process has been it's been finalized from the point of an agreement, and we're now moving through the integration. So some other really exciting news. I've been chatting with several VC firms. They've been talking with me for the last few weeks, trying to find the right entry point. And I feel like these people are finally in the position to where they feel like the entry point is good for them, and they're ready to come in and help us. And so there's going to be a lot of ways they're going to be helping us. I won't go into any of the details on that, but we have, we're really for us to go out and try to get a Kim Kardashian, I love Kim. If she's listening right now, I love you, Kim. But, we'd prefer to build this out in a manner that has a truly sustained growth pattern over the long term versus anything that's going to be bottomless without something to really hold it up. So that's our strategy and our focus for the next several weeks. I think that majority of you guys understand that that's a sound strategy that will take us to where we're looking to go in the long run, because this is a long running project. Okay. So got some new VCs in, very excited. We're trying to wrap stuff up very, very quickly and move on to the next stages with them. So that brings me to our next deal. As you guys have heard several times on here, I've been reached out to over the last month and a half, even before we started, even before we actually launched. And I had several NBA, really athletes from all over, from all different industries, sports, reaching out to me, wanting to be a part of this. And what I wanted to do was, or I think what we want to do is, just as a general community, is we're looking for long-term partnerships. We're not really looking for that short-term weekend, weekend integration where we get somebody on board who's there for the weekend and then we don't hear from them ever again. We want somebody who's here for the long run, who believes in the project. And so we've got several athletes from several different sports that are at those stages of us making final agreements with them. I would say the closest one that we have is an NBA player. Great guy, lot of connections, believes in crypto, long-term crypto, wants to be in crypto for the long term, believes in the ability for crypto to change a lot of things about the world. And so we're really excited to try to finalize some of these partnerships. And so hopefully some good news out of those arenas very, very quickly. Okay. I'll go ahead and talk about a few partnerships, tease you on a few partnerships. So we've got the Special Operations Network partnership. I won't give too many details about what that is just yet, but we have officially agreed to partner with them. They've officially agreed to partner with us. And that's going to be creating some very, very exciting opportunities, both for us and for them here in the very, very near future. So we're very excited about that partnership. John Shields has been taking the lead on that. I don't think he has much to provide in the way of updates there, but as that starts to materialize here over the coming weeks, and I know I've seen some of the stuff they're working on, and it's very cool. It's very exciting. Even what they've been able to cook up just here in the last few days and week has been very exciting. So I think you guys are going to be extremely pleased with what's happening there, and we'll make some more announcements as that comes along. In addition, we've been talking with several solar companies, and we're very close to announcing a partnership there as well, so that we can, with that initial partnership, start working towards the goal of a fast lend. So that's something that I don't want to give too much detail on either, but we will be announcing a solar partnership very, very soon. Aside from that, you guys know about the BSC expansion. So it's not a replacement of ERC. It's an expansion of our community to get smaller wallet holders in play. As you guys know, on the Ethereum side, $100 or a $200 stake into Ethereum with the fees is not very much. And so this will give us the ability to expand into a much, much wider base of people. Americans don't really use BSC because it's very difficult. Mostly other countries. So even Europe is somewhat difficult to get BSC. So mostly other countries. So the BSC is not a replacement for all those people who hold their ERC tokens. They will be getting an airdrop of BSC tokens, but it will not replace your ERC tokens. That's just a benefit, a way to say thank you for being here early on as we expand into the BSC network. So it's not a replacement of ERC. It's an expansion to grow our network. There are several tokens out there that launch on multiple chains. There are some that are on 3 or 4 chains. with different token counts on all the exchanges. So we definitely have looked at this from a lot of angles. We definitely have evaluated this with the pros and the cons. We've been discussing it with the community for several weeks, and we feel like we have an extremely strong position going into the BSC launch. Now, we're not going to announce when the airdrop will happen. We're not going to announce when the snapshots will happen. They will just happen because we don't want to allow for any gaming of the system to take place. Only true holders will gain the benefit of holding when we do the snapshots and when we do the airdrops. But we'll make communications when they're relevant and when they need to be made. Same thing with the launch on BSC. We're not telling anybody about the launch on BSC. Pretty much only myself will know about the launch on BSC. And again, we're doing that to eliminate any type of whales aping in and just taking up a whole bunch. We're going to be implementing a few things on both chains actually that we had hidden in the smart contracts that should reduce the amount of big splashes that whales have been making over the last week. But if you notice, the volume and the large movements have been significantly reduced over the last several days, which is really good. We feel really good about that. We feel like a lot of the long time holders are still holding, and the people who had just the intention of getting in and getting out are in and out. So we're very excited about that. We feel like this puts us into a great position for this week. A lot of big news coming out this week. Stay tuned. We're going to be doing these daily AMAs here for the next several weeks, just so that we can keep the community. We'll keep them a little bit lower. We're not going to do the hour-long AMAs, but we'll probably do 30-minute long AMAs. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and open it up for the AMA portion of our AMA, and we'll get through that as fast as we can so that we can get back to our days. So if you have a question, raise your hand. We'll select you, and then we'll answer the question. I do want to remind you that Joy has put a couple links in the main chat. One for the BSC FAQ section. So if you have any questions on the BSC expansion, please review that first. And if there's anything that's not on there that you would like answered, we'll answer that question. But if it's on that paper, we're most likely not going to answer it. So as well as we're looking for some moderators and for some other people. And so there's a link in there to fill out a form for becoming a volunteer. So with that, I'll open up the questions. Michael, unmute yourself. You can ask a question.
Hey, John. So Michael, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you hear me? Perfect. Very, very exciting news. I'm curious about the VCs. What type of partnerships and experience do you expect to gain with them? And in terms of like investment size, I'm sure you can't talk about that, but will there be like a lockup? Will it go towards liquidity? What other things will the funds be used for?
Yeah, so everything that we do from here on out with anybody who comes into the community, that's actually going to be working with us hand in hand. Anything that's done on exchanges, of course, we won't be doing anything there. But yes, there is a lockup period. It's going to be several months, not just a few months, but several months. And all the people coming in, as far as VCs are concerned, they're going to be adhering to that. And they're excited for that because they want to know that this is a long-term project as well. None of them are interested in just a weekend deal. So, yeah, those funds will be used. I don't want to go specifically into what they'll be used for, but there are different avenues that will be tapped into. It won't just be like a straight purchase of tokens. So yeah, they are here for the long term, and they are here to help in the best way that we all feel is. And they're longtime crypto experts as well. And so the amount of insight to be gained, additional advisors to be gained, is exciting and pretty significant. So we're really looking forward to that.
That's huge news. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Go ahead, 10.
What's up, buddy? I don't know if he just mentioned this, just last question, but is anything going to be contractual, like under contract signed, or is it just going to be mutual agreement?
It's going to be contractual signed. So there will be a high level understanding contractually that we put together. The token lockup really secures the ability. So the way that token lockup will work, just in case people are wondering how that will work, we're not going to give anybody tokens and then expect them to go lock them up. If you're familiar with how Unicrypt works, I will lock the tokens and then I will give them the keys. I will set the 6-month or 8-month timeline and I will say, okay, here are your locked tokens. And then they can't do anything with them. So we feel like that's a very important part of the handshake that we're going to be doing with them. But absolutely, there will be agreements in writing that set expectations for everybody as far as what each party is set to provide into the ecosystem with each other.
Cool. Thanks, Perez. That's very, stepping up like business side. It's really positive. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Just raise your hand and we'll get to you if you have a question.
Good. No questions today. We must be doing a great job of getting information out there. Great job, team.
Support portal is definitely helping a lot. I'm seeing the views tick up on the different articles for sure.
Excellent. Great. Yep. That's what this is all about, is turning this into a self-sustaining, organic community. So I think we've been doing a really great job over the last few weeks of putting this all in place. Very exciting.
I unmuted the chat just in case people are not able to talk. They can type a question to us if needed.
Okay. And if we don't have any more questions, we'll probably be wrapping up the AMA here in the next 5 minutes. So if you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to raise your hand and let's get those out of the way.
Grandmaster, go ahead.
Don't you know? Pump it up. What's up, guys? Pumped to be here. Excited. Long-term holder. My question is probably super naive, but maybe there's someone that wants to know it. My brain goes, dude, I bought higher, and I'm thinking, crap, if I could have waited till now and bought, by the time I got to where, maybe I wanted to move somebody to another investment, I don't plan on that personally, but I'm saying my fear is, how am I going to, people that do that, my brain says, how, by the time it gets back to where I'm even breaking even where I was, how can you guys give maybe a blanket answer to what we're doing so that I don't have to worry about everybody dumping in? And I'm like, oh, dude, I can't even get back to where I was because I'm tapped now. I'm invested, diversified everywhere, and I'm out. Does that make any sense? And I know it sounds probably like, oh, great, this guy, but I'm just curious to the pump you can give an information on the long-term holders. Like, dude, it's going to surpass so much. This is why. Does that make any sense?
We can't speculate on price. Like, there's no way we can do that. That would be irresponsible.
For sure. I need more like an encouragement with thoughts.
Well, there's a lot of stuff happening. Okay. And our goal was never to be a 1 week or a 2 week or a 3 week deal. This is a, 10-year project, 15-year project, potentially longer than that, sustained project. And so when you look at the timeline of where we're at, and if you look at the timeline of some of the other projects that have come before us that really don't have utility and how long it took them to get a foothold, I think we launched also in a market that wasn't ideal, unfortunately, but we had to launch. I mean, we just had to launch because we didn't know how long this market was going to be the way it was. And so, just circumstances being the way they were, I would not look at the last 2 or 3 weeks as saying, how do we get back to that all-time high? I would look at the last 2 or 3 weeks and say, are we doing the things and consistently providing the updates and the news and the deliverables that you guys are expecting? And if we are, then let's look forward to the future and say what deliverables and how can we continue to, get those projects out the door, the partnerships out the door. And we're hitting on all those. And I think we're speeding up even the timeline to those deliverables faster than we thought internally, just because of the amount of support that the community has been able to provide so quickly. And so that's what I would say to anybody who's looking at the next all-time high being, where it was a week ago. I would say that, our goal is to take this into the next 10 or 15 years and do something that nobody else has done. And we're starting to see a lot of people who believe in that message, and, people who are, like these NBA players, these VCs, they see the vision. They, a lot of people, I think, are, when a new token launches, you have to understand the ecosystem out there. When a new token launches, a lot of people are like, is this real? And these VCs who have been doing this, these NBA players who have, put a lot of money into these crypto projects, they know this, and they know that, there's a potential that this is another rug pull, right? And they don't want to be involved with that because it's not good for them. It's not good for anybody, right? And so they wait it out and they see and they say, okay, was this a rug pull? Is this a real? And really, no project, if you go out there and look, no project is able to sustain bad actors coming in and trying to trade up and trade out. Like you just can't block it. As much as people have tried to code things in place, all it does is it makes smarter coders come around and figure out how to beat it, right? So there's really the only thing you can do in the space is provide longevity and a real team who's executing, daily to push things forward progressively in a positive manner. And that's really all you can do. And we're seeing that the people who were around since the beginning talking to us are coming back around and saying, okay, this is real. How do we get involved long term? Definitely not something about, how can we get in and just get out real quick and 10x and 15x or whatever that is. But how do we come in here and provide value for the long term so that we can change the ecosystem of crypto? Because that's my goal, and that's the goal with everybody who's really here versus in, Pussycoin or Gigi Doge or whatever that is. Excuse my language for using that word, but really that's the fact here. And so we're here and we're in this position to take this to higher levels. So that's all I can really say on that, and let our progress and our deliverables be the measure of that.
Yeah, you guys have been amazing. I just wanted to hear it. I love it. I just wanted other people to hear it if they needed to, just that encouragement. I'm on board. I'm holding. What I hear you saying is, screw the moon, man. We're about to break the galaxy in 15 years. Let's go.
Well, it might not even take 15 years. It's something that once people realize that it's real, which I think we're very close to that point where people are realizing that, oh, this is real. This is, even though there were some bad actors that did some things, we're past that now. And the people who are sticking around are real people who really want to push this thing forward. I mean, I think you can tell that over the last week and a half, we grew basically 0 holders. And then since we hit that bottom and we announced what we were doing, we've grown almost 300 holders in that time, 400 holders. So I think, the message is there. People are receiving the message and people are believing in what we're saying, not just as a, hey, how do we get to the next all-time high, but how do we take this thing to nobody has ever done before? And I'm not talking from a market cap perspective. Who knows where that's going to get? I'm talking from an organization that's doing something that nobody's ever done before. Like, that's the real exciting thing here. If we look at the whole entire ecosystem of crypto, right? It's not just how do we get to like 100 billion or 500 billion. I mean, if you look at some banks that are out there, their market caps are 500 billion, 600 billion. And the reason why 10 trillion was picked as the number of tokens is because that's the total financial, yearly financial turnover in the financial industry of dollars that flow around it. So kind of keep giving us the ability to track ourselves against that total flow and what our true market share is with just a quick look was the reason for picking that number. So just so you kind of understand the long-term prospectus and where we're at, it's not about a market share. It's not about a market cap. It's about doing something that's never been done before and making it successful and then it's going to turn eyes by itself, and it'll grow to whatever it needs to grow to.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. So I've had some questions in the chat. The wallet, it will be a fully functioning ERC20 wallet. It will have our token tracker built in. So you will be able to track your tokens just like you can on the website now. We'll be migrating that data over. In addition to, it will be the launch pad for the rest of our products, including the staking, including the loans. So that will be the one-stop shop. Eventually, we'll get fiat integrated. I'm not putting any timelines on anything right now because we're so far ahead of schedule that we want to do it right. We want to release it to where it's bug-free, because as you guys know, a bug inside of something like this doesn't get taken very well. So, it's more important to do things right than to do things fast at this point. Okay, guys? And so, we're so far ahead of schedule that we're really here to make moves the way we're ready to do it. Okay.
John, we got a question here that was in chat from T-Hawks. Questions about the BNB release. Will the contract be verified by third party? Sounds like that was a yes, for making sure that it's done. What
Sorry,
liquidity?
Michael, my chat was my chat messed up. What was that?
It said, will the new contract be verified by a third party?
It already has been. It's the exact same contract. So we're just deploying it on BSC. The only thing we've changed is the Uniswap router address with the PancakeSwap router address. So that's the only change that's been made. It's the same exact contract that was verified by TechRate. And so there's nothing really to re-verify there. From the perspective of your next question, what was the next question?
It's what liquidity percentage and time period lock? So it sounds like the liquidity percentage is going to be the same. Is there going to be a time period lock?
So on this next one, we're actually not going to lock the liquidity, and the community can be as mad as they want on this. But at the end of the day, I think that what happened was people who don't understand what we were going for, we just kind of caved to their whims. And we locked it. And so on the BSC side, we may lock a portion of it, but we're certainly not going to lock all of it. And if anybody's unhappy with that, well, I'm sorry, but that's just what we have to do because we're moving so fast. I'm not going to lock. I mean, we might be able to lock it for 1 month or something like that, just so you guys have some comfort. But we're moving so fast that locking for 7 months in the last liquidity lock putting us in a position to where we're going to be hamstrung to lend for 6 months, 7 months. And we can't do that. We're not going to do that. It's just, it doesn't make sense to make a few people have a warm, fuzzy feeling after we've already locked a significant amount of our tokens and we're not going anywhere, even through all this up and down, to lock the liquidity again. And so we'll make a lock when it makes sense. Most likely what it'll be is we'll lock it into we'll lock it outside of the liquidity pool. That way it gives us access to it for lending. But yeah, we'll be transparent with all that. We definitely won't dodge any questions with that. We'll tell you guys exactly what we're doing, and then we'll do it. And it will never be okay. We're just bailing out and we're taking the liquidity. It will never be that. But it definitely won't be us locking for another 7-8 months and hamstringing ourselves into a position where we can't lend.
All right, and then last one is there a percentage being set aside for marketing from that?
Yes, so it won't be set aside from the liquidity pool, but there will be a marketing wallet that's utilized on the BSC side that will be utilized for tapping into some marketing. That's absolutely correct. And the percentages, I'm not revealing any percentages just yet because we're still finalizing with a few different people as far as the VCs and a couple other partnerships. So once we finalize through all that, of course, we will make a full disclosure statement to the community so that everybody's aware of exactly how this is going to play out and shake out.
All right, that was the one that we had from chat. I don't see any other hands up here in voice chat. Let me drop out and come back in again. Sometimes that shows people.
I think we're good. So we'll let Michael come back in, and then I think we can wrap it up for the day.
Yep.
Get back to what we were doing. So Michael, I think that's pretty much it. I think we had a really good AMA today. So let's get back on it, guys. We appreciate everybody. We love everybody. All the love and all the power. Have a fantastic day wherever you are. Rest of your day, rest of your night, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Keep the chat positive. Keep letting everybody know about this. We're making a comeback, stronger than ever and more organic than ever. And this is going to be a great thing, guys. So really looking forward to the weeks ahead and giving you guys some excellent news as we come out of these next few days. So again, have a great day wherever you're at. Great night, and we'll see you guys very soon.
Can I ask
And make sure to
over? Hello?
you'll have to answer your question in chat, or you can PM it to me. For anybody else that is still on here, be sure to get onto our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Reddit, all of our pages. Like, follow, and share those, and help us spread the word organically. We'll get the word out. Have a good day.